안녕하세요, 안녕하세요. It's Natalia and welcome to another video about learning Korean. Yay, 박수. So I've realized that somehow, some way, over the past 7 years that I've been on YouTube, I've never made a video dedicated to just improving your listening comprehension. Insanity. So that's what we're gonna do today. If you don't know me, hi, my name is Natalia. I've been learning Korean for over 8 years now. A few years ago, I moved here to Korea just to study Korean. Like literally, that's all I was doing, was studying Korean full time. And then once I finished my program, I found a job here. So now I live and work here. I'm a marketer and I consider myself an advanced learner. So that's who's offering you some advice on learning Korean. Step 1 is to be very honest with yourself on why you're learning Korean. Is it to take the topic and do really, really well? Is it to understand the latest K-drama? Is it to understand Bae's live stream as soon as he starts his live stream? Or her live stream, their live stream, whatever their pronouns are, okay? Sit yourself down and really ask yourself, why am I learning Korean? Like, what type of content are you wanting to understand? Because while yes, it'd be great if we could just understand everything, right? At the beginning, it's better to pick one type of content and focus on improving your listening comprehension on that topic or that type of content. Just trust me, it makes your whole study session way more effective. Step 2 is to choose content that matches your specific goal for Korean. So if I share one of my personal goals for Korean, it's to understand more medical Korean that relates to acne scars and hyperpigmentation, which I know that sounds really, really random, but I love trying out different skincare treatments here in Korea, and I tend to not go to the clinics that have interpreters, meaning I need to be able to understand what the doctor is telling me when they're explaining these different procedures. And the way that I do that, the way that I ensure that I can understand what's going on in my consultation, is by finding that content on YouTube and just binge watching it. So if your goal is to pass the topic, my advice to you is to focus on the resources that are topic specific, because the topic focuses on formal academic Korean. That's very different from the casual conversational Korean you find in K-dramas or Bae's live stream or Bae's interviews or whatever. Wherever Bae is, if you have a Bae. I don't know, I'm assuming you have a Bae because most people that are learning Korean have a Bae, like a bias or something, you know? If you don't, disregard everything I just said. But if your goal is to travel to Korea, let's say, then I want you to focus on resources that show you more practical Korean. Things like buying a T-money card, ordering food, explaining to the lovely emo at the bus stop that you are lost and are on the verge of a mental breakdown. Okay, maybe don't tell her about the mental breakdown, but do tell her you're lost and you would appreciate her help. Now, if you are someone that is looking for a new resource to help you get more natural exposure to Korean, especially those of you who are beginners or even upper beginners, especially those of you that are like wanting to come to Korea and want to feel more confident in your ability to go around by yourself, to understand what's going on around you, to feel comfortable asking questions, I'd like to suggest that you check out Story Learning. Now, full disclosure, Story Learning is the sponsor of today's video, but that does not change the fact that their courses are really, really good. They're really good, and especially good for those of you who don't have the opportunity to take Korean classes. Those of you that have to self-study, you know, aka study by yourself. That's what self-study means, Natalia. Story Learning is a platform that helps you learn language through context. So each chapter starts with you immersing yourself in a story. Wow, big shocker there. And then going on to understand that story, the grammar, the vocab, the expressions, the culture references through pre-recorded lessons with a native speaker who is also a teacher. And I think a lot of you will probably recognize her voice if you've been learning Korean on YouTube. I'm gonna throw that out. I'm just saying. I think a lot of you will know who she is when you start taking the course. But after that, you go on to practice what you've learned through different activities in the course. So the whole Beginner 1 course is 20 chapters long, each with 6 lessons on the grammar, the vocab, the everything I just mentioned basically. So it's a lot of content, and the really great thing about the Beginner 1 course is that it focuses on practical situations that you will find yourself in if you come to Korea. So the getting from the airport to Seoul, because the Incheon airport is actually kind of far from Seoul. I'm just gonna throw that out there. So basically very, very useful situations. It kind of helps you gain your independence back if you're someone that's coming to Korea and you have limited language skills. So if you're interested in trying out the course, you can use the link in my description box to get it at a really, really good price. So as you guys may or may not know, Story Learning's regular price for the Beginner 1 course is $297, but for Black Friday / Cyber Monday, they are dropping that price to $97. That's literally the best sale they do all year long. I would know because I work with them all year long. This is like a once a year type of sale for them. So if you've been thinking about it, maybe now is the time you think about it more seriously. If you've already tried it, let me know how it went for you in the comments section, or let everybody else know how it went for you in the comment section. Yeah, that's how confident I am that you liked the course, because I liked the course. But anyway, I will let you marinate on that offer, and let's talk more about improving your listening skills. Step 3 is constant exposure. Now that you've selected content that matches your goals, I want you to try and find time to listen, to immerse yourself in that content regularly. It doesn't have to be like some big study session or something like that. It can be as small as just listening to a podcast. It can be listening intently to whatever matches your goal, okay? Like, you just need to find time to listen to it, because the more you listen to this type of content, the more you're going to recognize sentence patterns, the more vocabulary you're going to pick up, the better your pronunciation will be, on top of your listening comprehension just getting better. For example, that medical content that I mentioned earlier, oh my goodness, because I've watched it so much, it helped me. Literally last Friday, I went to get some laser treatments and microneedling done for my acne scars, and the dermatologist was explaining the difference between the different treatments I was getting, and she literally used the word seppo. Seppo means stem cell. Girl, she says seppo, and I immediately knew what she was saying. I didn't even have to think about it. It just was like, yeah, keep going. She said something along the lines of like, 이 치료, Natalia. 이 치료는 그 피부의 세포들이 그 여드름 안 나오게 어떻게 재생해야 되는지 알려줘요. Which, like, that sentence might have been wrong. I'm sorry, my medical Korean speaking is not great, okay? First, we gotta be able to listen and understand, and then we work on speaking. And right now, I'm at the listening level, okay? Just don't judge me. That is the most random thing to be able to understand with no issues. Like, I can talk to my best friend in Korean and have no idea what the heck she just said, but if you say, this treatment affects your stem cells, I know what you're saying. Why? Because I've been focusing on that type of content. Step 4 is to engage in active listening. So passive listening is when you let the content play in the background while you're doing other things. So maybe you're, I don't know, watching a K-drama with the Korean captions on, but you're also looking at your phone, but you're also typing up an email. Like, you got a lot of things going on. It's in the background. Like, that's great, that's lovely, we love multitasking, but that's not the most effective way to improve your listening comprehension. Active listening, on the other hand, is where you're actively engaging with the content. It's way more effective. You're listening to the content, you're trying to understand it, maybe you're writing down the words you don't know, maybe you're looking up those words, maybe you're re-watching certain parts because you didn't know what was being said. Maybe you are even shadowing the content because you want to be able to speak as fast as the person who's in the audio, in the movie, whatever, I don't know, whatever kind of content you're working with, you are shadowing them, which, if you guys have seen my other videos, you know I love shadowing. Shadowing is great for listening skills, it's great for speaking skills, it's great for pronunciation, it's just great. It's great all the way around, okay? It's good for you. It's like your vitamins, it's good for you. Getting serious again, something that really helps me improve my listening comprehension when it comes to active listening is using content that has either Korean closed captioning or has transcripts, because I need to see it written down to create a strong connection between the pronunciation of the word and the written form of a word. I found that when I was in language school, I was learning so many words so frequently, so fast, that while I could write down the word, I could spell the word, I could read the word, I could use the word myself in speaking. If somebody else said it, in one ear, out the other. That link between like hearing the word and knowing what it wasn't there. It wasn't strong enough. It was just like, now I'm just dancing. But like, it wasn't strong enough. So I found that if I wanted to do well on my exams in language school, specifically the listening sections, I had to spend a lot of time just listening to the dialogues over and over and over again. Then break out the transcript, read it, identify any words I didn't know, identify any words I did know but didn't hear, right? Because that connection is just not strong enough. It wasn't there. And then listen to the audio again while following along in the dialogue, and then trying to shadow it. I know that's a lot of work and it takes a lot of time to study that way, but it truly made such a difference in my listening comprehension. Like, I ended up always scoring really well on my listening comprehension exams. And every semester, even though the content was different, the content was getting harder, the teacher was different, the exams were different, my listening comprehension was just really good because of the way I was studying. Step number 5, engage with native speakers. I know, I can already hear you guys going, oh no, especially those of you who are introverts like me. But I have to tell you, There's no better way to test your listening skills, to improve your listening skills, than to talk to a native and try to understand what they're saying when you are put on the spot, when you are nervous, when your adrenaline is going like this and your amygdala is telling you to run, okay? Like, that is a time you're really testing yourself. And with all of these things going on and all this pressure and anxiety that you might have, if you can understand what the person is saying, dude, that's good. That's very, very good, especially if you are someone that isn't as confident in your Korean. Like, that's a really, really good sign. And you don't just want to like engage with native speakers because you're using it as like a test to see like how good your Korean is or anything like that. Speaking with native speakers, especially if you're someone that is trying to learn more casual, more conversational Korean, you want to understand Bae's lives, and I keep going back to Bae's lives because I've gotten to the point where I can watch J-Hope's lives without like subtitles. Like, I can watch them, I understand exactly what he's saying, there's no delay, I can be like, that's so funny. Like, it's just, it's amazing. Anyway, when you're when you're speaking with native speakers, you pick up on the colloquialisms of Korean, how they actually tend to pronounce words, even if it's wrong, because let me tell you, a lot of Koreans pronounce a lot of words incorrectly, and it's considered acceptable because that's just how the general public pronounces a word, even though that's not the correct way to pronounce a word. So you just learn a lot of things that you can't learn through more traditional resources. So that's my step-by-step method to understanding Korean no matter what level you are starting at. I hope you guys found it helpful. The next video is going to be about speaking Korean, you know, like so I will see you guys there. Don't forget to check out Story Learning, and thank you to Story Learning for sponsoring this video. The link for you guys is in the description. So I'll see you guys next time. Tell me bye, guys. Bye.